I'm so excited to talk to you today because today we're going to be looking at what might be the most popular misbelief about God in our United States version of God. And it's this, it's screwed up, but it's this, that above all else, God wants you to be happy. Now, I'd love to be able to tell you that above all else, God wants you to be happy. And some people do, and it's terrible because it gets you to like or subscribe or follow them or whatever, but it's not true. And it's dangerous to you because if you believe that, it could start you down this road of other misbeliefs. If you believe that God's supreme goal for you is your happiness, here's what eventually you could start to do. If you believe that God wants you to be happy above all else, then whatever else makes you happy, it must be right. And whatever makes you unhappy must be wrong. There's this old song, I like Sheryl Crow, and there's this old song that she sang. It was like, yeah, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. Right? I like the song, but here's the ultimate problem. When we believe that above all else God wants us to be happy, suddenly we're forced to believe that God exists to serve us. You see, if God's there to make me happy, suddenly we reduce the great creator and sustainer of the universe down to like a cosmic Coke machine. Basically, I put my money in the machine, press the button, I've done my part. Contractually now, this machine must give me exactly what I hope for. Literally, without knowing it, this is what we do. We reduce God down to some kind of formula. God, I said my prayers, I went to church, I tried to do good things, I tried not to do bad things, I put a little money in the offering, I even helped an old lady cross the street. I've done all these good things, God. Therefore, my headache should go away. Therefore, the hot girls should go out with me. Therefore, I should get the job and I should get the dream house because I put the money in and I pressed the button. Therefore, God, you should do what I want you to do. Here's the tragedy of this misbelief. So many people end up walking away from God for totally, completely the wrong reasons because of wrong beliefs. They say things like, I tried the God thing, but it didn't work. If you believe that God exists to make you happy and then you're not happy, it forces you to believe that God failed. But God didn't fail. You started with the wrong idea, which led you to a very dangerous place. I'll tell you right now that I do believe that God delights in your happiness, or God delights in my happiness. That when you're happy, I believe it brings God joy, just as any parent is delighted when their child has joy or happiness. For example, here's maybe a good example. I used to go and watch one of my sons play soccer. Now, if he had scored the winning goal and he was elated, I was happy that he was happy. But his happiness is not my highest priority. For example, if he kicked the winning goal and he's happy and then he goes by and flips off the opposing team, suddenly his happiness is not my highest priority. Does that make sense? Yet many of us treat God like, hey, he should be happy for us no matter what. But God, as a parent, he doesn't want you to be happy when it causes you to do something wrong or something stupid. So here's how it can play out in our lives. Okay, I'll give you an example of my life. I'm having a tough day and I decide I want to eat the chips and salsa. Now, notice, I didn't say some chips and salsa. I said I wanted to eat the chips and salsa. It'd make me happy to have the whole jar and the whole bag. Now that might sound nuts, but I'll take like a jar of paste, I'll dump it into a big bowl, the whole jar, and I'll take the big bag of Tostitos restaurant style, that's my favorite, and I'll just eat and eat until all the salsa is gone. Maybe it sounds gross to you, but for me, that's like makes me happy when I'm stressed out. I'd be happy to have the whole bag and the whole jar. But that would be wrong, right? Or not wise. Yet I do it sometimes because it makes me happy in the moment. But it shouldn't be any surprise that later I get a stomach ache. Matter of fact, I've gotten multiple stomach aches in my life from doing just exactly that. I shouldn't be surprised. God's not bound to make my stomach feel good after I do something stupid. We can't just go and justify doing something stupid because it makes me happy and then expect God just to be on board. Above all else, God's highest calling for you isn't your happiness. God has something far better for you than just happiness. God wants you to be more than happy. God wants you to be blessed and blessed. Not just now, but all the way into eternity. The problem is, if I tell you God wants you to be blessed, most people think that means like more money or perfect health or whatever, right? But that's not what the blessed life is. When God wants you to be blessed, it doesn't mean you won't have a bad day. It doesn't mean your kids won't fight. It doesn't mean your car won't break down. These things happen. Just because you're blessed doesn't mean you're not going to have trials. It doesn't mean you're not going to feel weak. It doesn't mean there's not going to be storms or sickness in your life. Maybe even right now. Yet, we want this whole world to be perfect. That's why we hate injustice and cruelty so much. What you're longing for does exist. It's called heaven, and you were made for it. So I'll explain it like this. It's from some speaker I heard a long time ago. It's not mine, but it's about fish, so I guess I've remembered it all these years. He basically said, if you took a fish out of water and put it on a beach, would the fish be happy? Yes or no? No, right? Well, why not? There's no water. Let's say we gave the fish a big wad of cash, 100 grand. Is the fish happy now? Yes or no? No. What if we gave the fish a lounge chair, a pina colada, and a scuba magazine? Now is the fish happy? Yes or no? Why? Because the fish was not created for the sand. The fish was created for the ocean. If you have everything this world has to offer, will you be ultimately and lastingly happy? The answer is no, because you weren't created for earth. That's why all this just seems so wrong sometimes. You were created for eternity. The earth, your time here, is really a blip. You're here, and I'm here for a little while, and then we're gone. Therefore, lower your expectations of earth. No new car, no new house, no new job, no new person is going to satisfy the cravings of your heart. Because inside your heart, you have a desire for so much more. Some of you, you know it. You've tried everything out there that you can. You've partied your brains out. You've consumed everything you could. You've rearranged your body. You've traded in your old girlfriend or boyfriend for a new one. You could get this job, this city, that city, and nothing fulfills. Why? Because you were not created to be satisfied for this world. It's all counterfeit. There's something so much more than fading, fleeting happiness. God didn't create you just for that. He created you to have a relationship with him now and in eternity. So, if you're struggling, if you need more, if life isn't what you want right now, and you think, that someone in the world told you that you're supposed to be happy, and if you're not, God's against you, that's just not true. Happiness is good. God celebrates when we're happy, but he wants even more for you. So I encourage you today, just start talking to God about it. Talk to him when you're happy. Say thank you. Talk to him when you're not happy, and ask what you're supposed to be learning. Ask him to help you have true joy right now in your life. Have a great day.